were you when you first went in the ring?
I was 13.
And why? What made you do it?
So I first started boxing when I was 12. My mum couldn't get a babysitter one night for me and my brother, and she took us both down to a after-school boxing class that they had. And I absolutely loved it. So purely by chance, I ended up being a double Olympic champion.
At what age were you when somebody said, you're quite good at this?
I was 13.
So from the word go?
Yeah. So I'd been training since I was 12 and got about a year into it, and my coach said, you know, have you ever thought about taking it seriously, getting into competition? And, you know, I was like, yeah, you know, why not?
But women's boxing
give it a go.
Then was not what it is now.
No, it wasn't.
How many girls were boxing when you were boxing at 13?
I had one competition when I was 13, and then I didn't have another competition until I was 17. When I turned senior, so there was nobody.
So at 17, people said to you, what's your record? You said, I'm unbeaten.
Yeah. One fight, one win.
There must have been once or twice when you've hit the deck and thought, God, where did that come from?
Oh, no, I've never...
Have you never hit the deck?
No,
never?
No, never.
That's showing off.
I'm too quick. I told you, I don't like getting hit. But there was one time, though, I boxed a girl from Russia. You know, she was a little bit shorter than me, quite heavy set, and man, she caught me with a right hand on the nose, and I was like, "Ooh, I don't want another one of those." I literally spent the rest of the time in the ring running round. I was like moving away.
So when you've won one Olympic gold medal, and you know, for a lot of people, and also the time and the commitment and everything else, that, you know, for a lot of people would say, "Hey, I've done that. That'll do me. I'll now go." I'm sure the offers to, you know, be on Jonathan Ross, do this, blah, blah, whatever you wanted to do, we're all there. And yet you put yourself through another 4 years of it. Why?
Because well, first of all, I wanted to become a double Olympic champion. We hadn't had one for 92 years, and we definitely didn't have a female one. And also, I wanted to be the first female to win the Commonwealth Games. And be a champion in that. And I'd had before then, I'd had 3 silver medals in the World Championships, and it was getting at me. You know? I was like, I'm fed up with these silvers, so I was like, so I waited the whole 4 years just to get the gold medal in the World Championships.
The Olympics was always the big carrot for you.
Yeah.
But 10 years earlier, there seemed no prospect at all of boxing for women being in the Olympics. So you had to just keep hoping, didn't you? I mean, there was a lot of politicking going on, but you had to just keep hoping at some point somebody would open that door, because there was no guarantee that was going to happen.
Yeah, no, there wasn't, and it was when I think back now, how strange that must have sounded to everybody else when I was 13 years old, and I was like, and boxing wasn't an Olympic sport for women, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to be in the Olympics one day, and I'm gonna win a gold medal like my hero Muhammad Ali. And you know, they must have thought like, you know, okay, you know, you're only young, it's like she'll grow out of that, you know, kind of thing. But I was so sure and so determined that I was going to do that.
So how many people here were in London for 2012? Most of you, I'm guessing. A lot of you, yeah, you know. So, I mean, it was an amazing time to be in this city, wasn't it? Before the tournament began, did you feel that?
Oh yeah, definitely. It was unreal. I mean, the thing that got me the most actually was the fact that you'd get on the tube and people were actually talking to each other. It was that just blew my mind. I was like, wow. Didn't think I was in the same city. But yeah, it was unreal, the support that we had from the whole country.
The great champions often almost talk about defeats more than they talk about victories, because they say that the victories came as a consequence of the defeats, that it hurt so much,
yeah.
if not physically, mentally, that's what drove them on. And actually, I interviewed Jack Nicklaus, who's one of the greatest sportsmen of all time, perhaps the greatest golfer of all time, and asked him on his last round of golf what he was going to miss most. And he said losing, which is you would think is a bizarre thing for someone like Jack Nicklaus to say. And so you then say, why? He said, because the losing was the fuel that drove you to be a winner. So when and boxing is a very public defeat, because you stand in the middle of the ring
Yeah.
and somebody's hand goes up, or in this case, your hand doesn't go up.
Yeah.
That must be a very empty feeling when that happens.
Yeah, it is. And it's funny actually that you said that actually, because it was the defeat, the 10 weeks before the Olympic Games in 2012, that give me the fuel and the fire to really dig in to make sure that I got the victory in London.